feel jumping. I can't sit still. I daydream. What did you say? I need to get out of my skin. I'd also use gambling, food, alcohol, drugs, sex, gambling some more, or other physical activities like weightlifting, basketball, running. They would all provide temporary relief, but nothing would last. What am I talking about? Anxiety. Anxiety. This is a quote from the writer Jodi Picoult. Anxiety is like a rocking chair. It gives you something to do, but it doesn't get you very far. Now, anxiety is a two-edged sword. Anxiety is a feeling. It's a healthy emotion. It can heighten your senses. I've been speaking for a very long time to all types of audiences without notes. I still get anxious. But my anxiety is helpful in public speaking because it does heighten my senses, makes me more aware of my being and my environment. It fuels my performance. However, for certain people, disproportionate levels of anxiety can be debilitating. Anxiety is a medical disorder. Anxiety disorders form a category of mental health diagnoses that can lead to excessive nervousness, fear, apprehension, and worry. Like in the movie Moonstruck, Cher is slapping Nicolas Cage and she says, "Snap out of it!"
Why not?
I'm in love with you.
Snap out of it!
I can't.
Problem is, once it gets into our brain, it can take over. So what are some common anxiety disorders? There's generalized anxiety disorder, GAD. That is when a person on most days worries about a lot of different things over a long period of time, 6 months or more. There is social anxiety, specific phobias. There is a panic disorder, obsessive compulsive disorder, OCD, post-traumatic stress disorder, PTSD. When I was young, I had high anxiety that my house would burn down or that I would be kidnapped. I would have to learn how to live in the woods or how to break out of a trunk. Now, we lived outside Philadelphia in Malvern, PA. And behind our backyard, there were some fields. And there was this half dug out, big hole in the ground, dirt hole. And I would spend a lot of time thinking about it. If our house burned down, I'd have to dig out the rest of that hole and just live in there. Now, regardless, I am 6 or 7 years old. I have parents, I have an older brother. What I'm saying is that's how young anxiety or high anxiety problems can begin. You may say they're unrealistic, but they were very real to me. When I was in middle school, I developed OCD. I had to touch things a certain way. I had to touch things this way. No. Touch things this way. No. I had to keep touching things. Drove my family crazy until I got it right. In high school, it kind of went away. In college, it returned. But then it was about counting numbers. I had to count steps going in and out of buildings, or I had to count the letters in a word. This brought a certain amount of peace, of calmness. Now, what are some of the signs and symptoms of anxiety? Okay, feeling nervousness, restless, tense, having a sense of impending danger, panic, or doom, accelerated increased heart rate, breathing rapidly like hyperventilation, sweating, trembling, feeling weak and tired, unable to concentrate except on the present worry. This is what people need to really understand, is that all signs and symptoms have levels of intensity. Here's a quote from the Dalai Lama. Calm mind brings inner strength and self-confidence. So that's very important for good health. Now, as the intensity would increase, we need to ask ourselves certain questions. What is going on? Are we fighting with ourselves or with other people? Is the family fighting? Am I getting a divorce? Are my parents getting a divorce? Is this about money issues, job issues, health issues? Is this friends or relationships where there is backstabbing, bullying? The kids. Are the kids all right? And now it's about pandemics and viruses. What is safe? Who is safe? That is why empowerment is the key. But before we can talk about empowerment, we have to talk about anxiety in the opposite direction. High anxiety can lead to spiraling. When your thoughts start to spiral, they're spiraling, it feels almost impossible to get off the staircase. Anxiety spiraling is also known as catastrophic thinking or magnifying, which also includes a lot of anxiety and depression. Now, when you spiral, there's different phases. And as you go through these different phases, it almost feels like an out-of-body experience where you've lost faith or no faith, or life has no meaning at all. And in these dark spaces, you have either cutting or crying spells or sobbing. Life keeps happening. And it seems like we never get a hold of things. Here's a quote from Charles Spurgeon. Anxiety does not empty tomorrow of its sorrows, but it only empties today of its strength. Life does keep happening. And it is a question, and you're never really going to get a hold or a handle on this, even though we're trying. But that's why you have to find out who you are. What drives you? What is your purpose? What is your passions? Now, to deal with anxiety, you can go to that method that we've all known about since we were kids. And that's breathing, deep breathing. Now, remember when we were talking about the Dalai Lama, he's talking about health? Well, deep breathing really does help your anxiety. Take those deep breaths. You do that 3 to 5 times, your anxiety does come down. You're able to put a pause and really kind of look at things and say, okay. Also, do a gratitude list. Once you start putting things on your gratitude list, things actually start to be put into perspective. Also know how you're feeling. And if you're like me and you need help, go to a therapist. A therapist is a great person to help you really discover your feelings and your anxiety levels of why things are so high or where their levels are or the intensity. And also, under the care of a doctor for a short period of time, drugs are very effective. SSRI drugs like Sertraline. Now don't forget about friendship, human connections. Being able to talk to your friends and really be intimate and open where they listen to you and they can kind of hear things. You may think you're crazy, but hey, everybody's crazy. So it's good to have that human connection and realize we're all in this whole thing about life. Also, do something that you really like and love. Laugh. Everyone needs laughter every day of your life. When you laugh, your anxiety levels go down. And some things are out of your control. That's why you do the serenity prayer. to know what you can control. Now here's a quote from David Mamet. We must have a pie. Stress cannot exist in the presence of a pie. See, me, I'm a pie person. I love pie over cake. Lemon meringue pie, key lime pie, pecan pie, cobbler. I love good pie. When you eat good pie, the world slows down. You enjoy life. You smile. There is no stress or anxiety. That is life. Be content. Now, realize at times life is easy and at times life is hard. Those peaks, that perfection, it will not last. Those valleys, they will get better. Life is not a straight line. Life goes up and down. That is why you take a deep breath, say, "This too shall pass," and put one foot in front of the other. In Houston, we have the Museum of Natural Sciences, which has a butterfly exhibit. And you walk down this pathway, and the slower you walk, and when you stop, you can actually have the butterflies come and actually land on you. You can see their flight patterns and see how beautiful they are. I'm going to finish with this anonymous proverb, anonymous quote. Just when the caterpillar thought the world was ending, he turned into a butterfly. Yes, when the world seems crashing, especially now under this pandemic, and so many people that stay home and it feels like nothing's ever going to get better, it will turn. It will get better. It will become beautiful. Life is wonderful.